I don't want to get too personal,
Of
but
course.
somebody ended up contacting some people claiming to be me, and yeah, they felt very iffy and they felt very uncomfortable, so they reached out to other people that I've worked with.
Yeah.
And then they asked them, like, oh, have you worked with Enzo before? And
Culture Talk for this afternoon, as promised, a very special guest in the studio for today. Enzo Jantjies is a multi-disciplinarian creative who dabbles in expressions of photography, animation, filmmaking, and sound engineering. The Namibian-born innovative enthusiast draws inspiration from life's nuances and depictions, be it sound to textures. And Enzo continues to live his art as a sound operator at the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation, and by expanding his knowledge base at the Namibian University of Science and Technology in computer science. A devoted citizen to the artistry sphere, Enzo is delighted by the challenges creatives face in defining the spaces they take up, ever-changing, ever-evolving art. Wow, what an introduction. The person is in the studio right now, finally meeting him in person as well. Enzo, good afternoon and welcome to 99 FM.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's your first time on the show, right?
Yes,
on my show, ultimately.
Yes.
Yeah, so you are this photographer who's doing all of this amazing work. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in the industry for about 10 years.
Whoa, okay.
Give or take. Mostly behind the scenes, mostly, I prefer to be like a ghost. You know, I just pop in and disappear again, and then people are like, oh, they've heard or seen about me, you know, and then, yeah. I've just been dabbling in a lot of arts, a lot of film stuff.
Yeah.
But I think people only know me for photography.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said off air, that I only saw you on Instagram. So I'm like, yay, I'm finally meeting this person in person.
Yeah.
All right, so we have been following the trademark campaign by BIPA that they recently launched called Own Your Mark, Protect Your Brand. What does this slogan or this phrase, own your mark, mean to you?
Okay, so it's like, let's just break it down. Because own your mark, people don't quite understand that you need to trademark your work, and owning your mark is part of that trademark. So if you have a logo, that is your mark, basically. And, you know, people can use it, you know, maliciously.
Yeah.
So for you to own it, you can protect yourself. At the end of the day, people can't monetize or make money off of your name or your
logo,
your
ultimately.
Logo,
yeah. Have you why do you feel the need, why do you think there is a need to protect your brand by trademarking it?
So unfortunately, there's a lot of like scammers out there.
That's true.
Like right now, you know, you'll hear it all over the news, all over the radio, all over social media. That there's always like some sort of employee from maybe even F&B or these big, you know, telecom, or, you know, and then they're always saying, oh, you've got people calling in and scamming them.
Yeah.
And it's not really representatives of these companies. So having a trademark, you can actually take some sort of legal action into protecting yourself at the end of the day.
Speaking of legal action, it brings me to my next question. Have you ever been in a situation where someone, you know, used your work without your knowledge or consent?
Yeah, unfortunately, that has happened to me before.
And how did you deal with it?
Oh, that was a weird part, because you can't really go to a lawyer and say, oh, this is happening, and then they ask, okay, so what legal ground do you have? You know, that's ultimately that's what the lawyer is going to ask.
Yeah.
What legal ground do you have to this trademark or to this name or to this logo? And if you can't give them anything, you can't protect yourself at all. So this is kind of like that legal framework to say,
this is the proof
this is mine. And you can't really like use it to make money off of it or defame it or
So in your own experience, that person that used your
somebody ended up, I don't want to get too personal,
of course,
somebody ended up contacting some people claiming to be me, and yeah, they felt very iffy and they felt very uncomfortable, so they reached out to other people that I've worked with.
Yeah.
And then they asked them, like, oh, have you worked with Enzo before? And these people were like, yeah, they have.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. And they're like, yeah, but I'm not really getting that vibe. So then they had to like look at the cell phone number just to make sure, is it really the same Enzo?
The right person,
and then they were like, no, this is not Enzo. So then they called me up and then they told me about the whole situation. And I was like, I'm so sorry that this had to happen.
Yeah.
You know? And I had to like put out a whole statement on social media saying, sorry guys, this is not me. And I mean, like, I'm so ghost, like, so even if people did not know, or even if people did go for this, they wouldn't have known who the real Enzo is. So I have to like really protect myself.
Speaking, okay, so let me ask you this then. So what did you trademark? You trademarked the Enzo.
The logo.
The logo, and not the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the name.
All right.
So the logo is trademarked. And it encompasses everything I do in the media industry.
Okay.
So if I'm taking photos, if I'm doing sound, if I'm doing animation, if I'm doing film, doesn't matter. I'm covered for that. So if anybody wants to use my trademark or my logo claiming to be me when I am not involved, I can take it to court.
So when someone comes to you and say, hey Enzo, I want to use your logo, I'm willing to pay for it, would you want to do something like that? Because I mean, that's ultimately how it goes. I mean, if someone, let's say someone loves your logo or loves the Enzo brand and wants to use the brand for something that they want to do, but still coming to you and say, hey, we love what you're doing and we want to use your brand and we want to work with you. Has that happened?
I think if I'm approached first, that is a different story.
Yeah.
As opposed to having somebody doing it behind my back. Yeah, that's like a different story. Yeah, that's like stealing almost. Yeah.
And so I think, you know, a pertinent question is the process of registering your trademark. Is the process time consuming?
It's not necessarily time consuming. It does take a while. It does really take a while because you end up registering your trademark, and BIPA first has to make sure that you can, like, it's not owned by anybody else. So that process takes a while. I think it takes about 10 years, or 5 years. I'm not sure. I have to go. I speak under correction.
Of course,
I speak under correction. But it does take a while. But as soon as you start to apply, you're already protected. The protection starts immediately, and then they can make sure that you can have this your logo is trademarked. I mean, it's not just logos that get trademarked. It's also phrases, certain phrases that people can use. And
stuff like that. And so before we let you go, just, you know, to encourage other creatives on the importance of trademarking, if you had a message for creatives right now, tell them why they should trademark their work and their brand.
I would say just, you know, go and trademark your brand to protect yourself. So if somebody tries to use your name without your knowledge, or tries to use your brand without your knowledge, or tries to,
or makes money from it,
tries to make money off from it, and you don't know about it. I mean, that's money that could have gone into your
your pocket. Yeah, it's so true.
You can definitely take some sort of legal action and hire a lawyer and say you have a solid case, and that would help 100%.
Before we let you go officially, where can we follow you on social media in case someone would like to hire you for work?
For work. So I'm on Instagram mostly, on Enzo's Arts. You guys can catch me at Enzo's.arts. And if you guys just want to vibe and chill, I'm also on
Vibe and chill,
Enzo,
yes.
Enzo DJ.
Enzo, thank you so much for coming to chat with us. And I definitely would like to work with you very soon. So I might just slide in your DM real soon. So just watch out for that, okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
It was a really, really good pleasure to have you in studio.
Thank you so much, Treza.
That was, of course, Culture Talk here on Treza in the Afternoon with Enzo Jantjies, who he is a lot of things. And if you miss out on this interview and you want to get to know him, you can, of course, listen to the interview again on the 99 FM app. It is BIPA's latest awesome initiative, the Trademark Campaign called Own Your Mark, Protect Your Brand. Very important as a creative to trademark your work, and I hope this information helps you understand why it is so important. We head back to the tunes, so keeping it local with this one. It's Sammy Lee Jones, No Way on 99.